Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Amrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya Asato Ma Satgamaya Tomaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrit Yoma Amritam Gamaya.
Hello, hello. It is Tuesday night, 5:55. It is in this moment it feels like I've been called into the principal's office. Like that's the feeling I have in my body as I sit down tonight. This space is one that I created for accountability for myself first, and my own truth, my own light, my own commitment to being an immortal soul in a mortal body, which is what that chant offers us as guidance. Thank you again to Alicia Mathewson for allowing me to play that song each week as I open this space. And today I feel like, oh, this is accountability for me, and for me to show up and be in my truth and to honor like the places where I'm in my shit, in my darkness, and seeking light. So I sit here feeling like like I'm in the principal's office. That's what it feels like. Yeah. From the time I started these Tuesday calls, I knew this is where my soul, my higher consciousness speaks through me, this physical, mortal experience that I know is Vivian. And there's something about the video camera looking at that eye that activates it in my human journey, looking at myself reflected back. It's like I'm looking in my own mirror, and there isn't room for me to dodge what I need to look at. So I show up in this space each week, except for the weeks where I hide and I don't show up, which is what I really wanted to do tonight. I show up and I look myself in the eye and speak my truth to myself. So I end up watching these videos and I hear what I'm saying, and some of it I don't even remember that I said or how I said it. But I hear my words coming back to me, and I know like it's my own guidance that I'm receiving. It's my soul speaking to me and going this direction, or move this way, or look at this thing. Watching last week's episode where I spoke about being in truth and then continuously coming back and being love, always being love and finding a way back to love. I needed that message for myself last week. I needed to see that fire, that commitment to doing my work, to clearing my own layers of illusion. I needed that for myself. And it strengthened me to watch that and then continue navigating through all that flowed during the rest of the week. And tonight, like, well, first of all, from what Astro Mama said, it's Venus in, what did she call it? Station. Venus is station today, which means it's in between going forward and turning around to go back. And in that place of station, everything is amplified 10 times. And I know some people read astrology and they're like, whatever, you know, you can take it or leave it. Maybe it's happening, maybe it isn't. I know energy. I know energy on our planet. And I know that energy on our planet is directly impacted by all the other energies around our planet. Every other planet, star, our moon, our sun, everything that happens outside of this planet directly impacts the energy field of what Gaia Earth is holding here. And we as little tiny humans within that field feel all of that. So we could ignore it, we could dismiss it, and also it's a real energy. It's really here and happening. And maybe we can be very distracted and busy and move through our days and not feel it, override it, you know, stay so frantic and anxious that whatever's happening astrologically just sort of moves around us and we just kind of blah, 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 right, move past it. When we are awake, when we are conscious beings who are alive and in these bodies and aware that we are immortal souls in these physical bodies, when we are looking at our truth, our light, when we are stepping out of darkness and out of illusion, the power of what's happening astrologically is that much more amplified and intense. We feel it even more. How could we not? We are awake and we are aware, and energy is moving and we are feeling it. And so today, today I feel angry. I feel angry. I feel raw. I feel tender. I feel all of this. I feel the pain of the feminine. I feel the shame of the masculine. I feel the tension that exists between the two. The bullshit game of he said, she said, who to believe, when to believe, how to believe, what evidence supports what argument, like all of it, it's so much. It's so much. And as much as I know the ways to return to love, and I know the ways to bring my being back into an alignment with love, sometimes it can't just be done on command. It can't just be rushed through so that we meet the deadline. So I show up in this space on a Tuesday night and I am beaming love. Right now I'm just beaming like the complexity of this human journey. And what I was sitting with in meditation, trying to bring my energy into a peaceful place so I could show up and be in this peaceful vibration, which I'm not. I couldn't get there by 5:55 today. I just couldn't clean it all up and show up. So I show up with my soul, my higher self, to go help. How do we navigate when it's this intense, when there's this much that's moving? Like, where do we find that steadiness? And what I kept feeling in my meditation time is my own journey as a female, as a representative of the feminine energy on this planet. You know, I picked female deliberately as a soul. I know that. I chose to be a female, and I chose to be a very feminine female. I chose to be small. I chose to be weaker. You know, it's just recently that I've been learning how to have a strong, healthy, fierce body. I haven't had that my whole life. I chose to be in this diminutive feminine energy field and represent that. My role was as a middle child, the first daughter, but not the strong, fierce daughter, you know, the peacemaker, the one who calms down everyone, soothes the arguments, bites her tongue, tries to keep everything comfortable. So many females were born into that lineage, that archetype. And I'm no exception to that. And then my relationships were modeled after what I saw reflected around me by the feminine, which is do whatever it takes to make the masculine happy. Make sure you keep the peace. Make sure you're considering how the masculine is feeling. And if that means that you have to disregard some of what you're feeling, go ahead and disregard it, you know, and take care of the guy. And then I honor all of this as my choice. I'm just seeing it tonight as a pattern that frustrates me. When I chose my jobs, I worked at a tuxedo company for off and on 10, 12 years, constantly telling the masculine how gorgeous they looked in their tuxedos. And they did. They looked fancy. They looked beautiful. They were all dressed up. They had put on these suits that made them look like $1 million. And I helped them dress themselves up. I helped them remember just how beautiful they were. And most of the time that was a gift. It was a gift of love from my feminine to their masculine, going, see how beautiful you can be. See how amazing you are. Rise up to be that more often. And then over and over. They would show their crap side of the masculine, the derogatory, suggestively sexual innuendos, flirty bullshit stuff. And, as women working for a masculine-owned firm, from this ego-driven masculine energy, we were taught to sell that sexuality, sell that flirtiness, increase the sales, the finances of the business by being a pretty feminine. And I did it willingly. I played the game willingly, and I was very good at it. And then I worked for my last corporate job. I worked for a construction company, which is ego-driven, masculine, old patriarchy, and very good at it. They're very good at it. The construction industry in general is, old masculine energy, not the divine masculine at all. There were a few divine masculine energy men in that company who I treasured, and also I played my role as the feminine that I knew how to be. And I watch what happens, in relationships around me. I am looking very clearly at my own relationships with the masculine. And sometimes it looks like, it feels like it's all going to work out. The feminine and the masculine are healing, and everything is working out. It's going to be for the better. We're creating a new reality, a new world, and, we're meeting each other in this new energy field. And today, for some reason, it feels stuck. It feels heavy. This morning I went for my run, and then I took my dog out for a walk, and I decided, he's 3 years old, and he's always on a leash because we haven't trained him to stay close to us. And I've tried to do it in the past, somewhat successfully, where I'll take him off leash in a field down the road from our house, protected back by a lot of woods. So I would take him off leash, and I'd have treats, and I'd entice him back, and he'd run around for 30-40 minutes and then come back. And then we had one experience where he went off into a neighborhood behind us, and it scared me. I'm like, no, we're not going to do that anymore. So today I decided, because it was this beautiful fall day, it's gorgeous outside, sun is shining, tree leaves are falling, it's beautiful. I'm like, I'm going to let him run. I'm going to let him have some space. I've got a little bit of extra time this morning. If he wants to play for 45 minutes, an hour, it'll be fine. So I do my telepathic, let's talk to each other. And I know he understood what I said, and took him off leash, and he took off, and I could see him, and I kept calling so he'd hear my voice, and he's running back and forth, having a great time. And then he disappeared. An hour and a half. He's not coming. I'm freaking out, thinking I've made the mistake. I shouldn't have let him off leash. All my feminine coming up. I should have protected. I should have been this. I should have been that. Oh my God, I can't believe here's my dog and he's gone. And what am I doing? And all this fear. And I call my husband, trying to figure out, what do I do? How do I get him back? Not sure what to do. And he pops out of one of the houses in the way back forest area, pops out and sees me, sees I'm upset, looks me in the eye, knows what's going on, and runs off again. And something in me was just devastated, hurt, so fucking pissed at what that represents for me in the feminine masculine energy. And I watched him disappear and then come back, and I sat and cried, called my friend, going, what do I do? What do I do? Do I just go back home and let him find his way home? What if he gets hit by a car? Do I go chase him in the woods? Obviously that's not working. He's running away from me. What do I do? And he runs off and he comes back and he runs off, and the UPS guy comes, even has a treat. Can you believe it? He had a treat in his pocket, and my dog came running over and he throws the treat, and Star eats the treat and then runs off again. And this beautiful divine masculine trying to help me get my dog back. And even that, Star runs. And he finally, when I did my thing, smiling, sweet, happy, come here, Star, come play, come be with me. That's when he comes back. And I brought him home and gave him his bath, and then I couldn't look at him. I couldn't deal with him. I'm like, what is happening? What is happening in the energy of the feminine, the masculine that is playing out with me and my dog today? Because it's clearly trying to teach me something. And what I shared with my husband is, it's hard to be a human right now in this body, in this time. It's hard to be a soul in a human body. And sometimes I just want out. I just want to go back. I just want to be a soul. Because it's really intense right now to feel everything that is moving energetically on our planet and within humanity and within the feminine and the masculine. To feel all of that is intense and hard and painful. And so I just want to go home and shut the door and leave everything outside. And for me, that looks like I want to go home to the place that isn't Earth. And just be a soul. And not feel all that we feel here in this human journey. And also, it's not why I'm here. I chose to be here. I know I chose to be here. I know I chose to come and bring light, hold light, be light, shine light, be love, radiate love. I know that's why I came. And today with Venus sedation, it's hard. It's hard, and I don't quite know the way. I don't quite know the way through. But I show up and I sit in this space and I call on my soul to remind me what's true and to guide me into light and to remind me at some point this human journey goes back to immortality. And all of this bullshit pain that we feel, it's all gone. It's all gonna go away. So the work to do is simply to show up and to be truthful and to be authentic and to be real and to do our own healing and to not hide. To not hide from how hard it is and the emotions that we feel. I am frustrated by the ways that the masculine has betrayed me. I am frustrated by the ways that I've played the game with the masculine. I am tired of the dynamic of the feminine and the masculine, the way that I know it, the way that I've experienced it. And I could spend this time trashing the masculine, trashing the feminine, talking about all of the pain. And yet, we all know it. We've all felt it. We've all been betrayed. We've all been hurt. We've all felt shame for the ways we have made choices that hurt ourselves, that hurt our integrity, that hurt others. We've all felt rage and behind the rage is the pain, that deep pain of being wounded, of being abandoned, of being betrayed, of being separate, or whatever your story is. So, as I sit in this space with that chant, guide me from untruth to truth, lead me from darkness to light, and lead me from death to immortality. My heart just pleads for all of the game playing to stop, for all of us, every single one of us, to pause the distraction, to sit in quiet space, whether you do it through a video camera like I choose to do with my soul, or whether you do it in meditation, or you do it in prayer, or you do it in your car, you do it in the outside by a tree. Sit and let's get real with ourselves. Let's be in truth with ourselves first. Let's look at, like I'm looking in a mirror right now, let's look at how we have played the game, where each of us individually has wounded the feminine and wounded the masculine. The ways where we have been out of integrity with what true divine masculine energy looks like in each of us. For me, that has meant being angry, being so fucking angry, and expressing that and not hiding it, and owning those emotions, and then allowing them to breathe, to move, to have some space. Claiming that time and space to sit with all of those emotions is the most important thing I could do. Because shutting it down, pushing all of that down, it's like trying to put the lid on a volcano. And at some point, it's going to erupt. We're seeing that in politics. We're seeing that in relationships. People are erupting, they're blowing up because they've squashed so much down for so long. I kept thinking of the movie Moana when I was meditating, and how this beautiful, beautiful, pure energy of the divine feminine that was represented at the end of the movie, that beautiful divine feminine had been wounded, had had her heart taken out of her chest. And she got so angry that it consumed her, and she turned into this being of fire that wanted to destroy everything, destroy the planet. Until one tiny, courageous little being of light trusted herself and followed her own knowing and became the wayfinder and fought to get that heart back, and then handed it back to the divine feminine who had been wounded. And that act of trust and forgiveness, that's what brought healing back to the planet. That's what brought that beautiful divine feminine back into existence. It came from a being of pure light. None of us right now are beings of pure light. All of us have our shit to work through. And we're never going to get this figured out until we actually look at it and feel it and express it and move it and become clearer within ourselves, firm on what we will and won't accept, and how we will and won't be treated, and how we are going to show up. And when we are confident and certain in that, and we know who we are, and we love who we are, from that space, that's where we heal. That's where we show up in these relationships over and over, and we are better. We become beings of light. I mean, I know we are beings of light, but we are in our human experiences, and they are clouding that light. They are dimming that light. And my hope is we all move back. Not back, we move through the emotions, and we emerge on the other side of all of this clearing and truth speaking and illusion moving to the side. We arrive on the other side of that so strong, so fierce, so clear, so pure in our own divine feminine and masculine within us. And then we reflect that to the others around us. We all are mirroring a higher vibrational version of the feminine and the masculine. I was talking to my daughter this week, who is a beautiful light and a beautiful example of the divine feminine, and I was sharing with her how I was reading in the Gene Keys this description about how this new version of relationship is going to become available on our planet, and it comes from the two sides, the yin and the yang, not blaming or pushing or needing or rejecting or constantly having this tension between them. And in the Gene Keys, Richard Rudd talks about in that chapter, from the time of Adam and Eve, when Eve left the Garden of Eden and she stepped out of that space of paradise, the feminine created that separation. If we're looking at lineage and archetypes and energy, like the feminine caused that division between the masculine, the feminine, and Source God. And perhaps that is why the feminine has been so persecuted for so long and belittled and made to feel less than. As the patriarchy has risen, the feminine has allowed it, and perhaps that comes all the way back from the guilt of the Garden of Eden. And now we are at a time on our planet where we can return to the Garden of Eden. We can create a new earth. And it feels like the masculine is in its shit right now. Just the energy is full of such shame and greed and betrayal, wanting to have everything, wanting to have all of it, and not honoring the sacredness of what they currently have or could have, or I don't know if I'm saying it well. And I feel like I'll speak for myself, I, as a feminine being on this planet, as I heal the division of the feminine and the masculine within me, I can elevate, I can rise. And then I can be a guide for the masculine to come back into the new earth, to come back, not back, to come into, return to this idea of harmony and paradise and equality, and there is no separation. But until I am clear, I'm not able to hold that type of space. None of us are, until we've all done the work we need to do within ourselves. And so the masculine brings all of that forward for us. Not always willingly on our part or their part. today, here we are, you know, Venus is station, and I can feel myself sitting, not sure which way to go, just sitting in it, not wanting to show up, acting like I've got it all together. You know, I don't in this moment. I often do, and in this moment I don't. And I think there are lots of us who don't. So I share, and I open my heart, and I allow myself to be witnessed. And I will get back up in the morning and sit in my meditation time and ask for more clarity and look at the lessons as they show up and keep moving through. I saw a beautiful description. I think it was Aluna Ash in one of her videos. She said, I think it starts on the 5th. I'm not an astrologer, so I feel bad quoting things that aren't maybe 100% right, but you can do your own research. I believe October 5th, there's a period where Venus, I believe, is retrograde for 40 days and 40 nights. I hope I have that right. And what I have heard and read about it is, you know, this is an opportunity, a deeply, profoundly, incredibly powerful opportunity for us to align with the energies around our planet, to align with the energy of Venus, and to really clear some of our old stuff. 40 days and 40 nights. It's a biblical reference also. Like, this is an opportunity to really go inward and heal and own for ourselves first. Our truth, our light, our darkness, our own fears of death and immortality, our own fears of all of it. So I know I'll be doing that process because I can't not. It's energetically happening. For me, I feel like we're going through it whether we're choosing to or not, because the energy fields are so powerful and our souls are calling us into that deeper, deeper, deeper level of awakening. So I'm going to keep moving through it. And maybe next week I'll show up and I'll have some answers for myself and things will be clear and I'll have beautiful reflections. And maybe I won't. But I'm showing up. So I usually end with a song, and I woke up humming this song. I've been feeling it all day. I know I've already read the lyrics to this in this space, but it just feels relevant right now. And it's such a beautiful song, and I feel how much more light is coming into our planet all the time, and how that light just continues to illuminate whatever it is we as humans need to move and release so that our souls can be more expressive, be more visible, can do what we came here to do as incredible infinite souls. That light is helping us in that process. So as intense as it feels, it's serving, and I know that. The song is called 93 Million Miles, and it's by Jason Mraz. It's such a beautiful song. So please listen to it on YouTube and or Spotify or wherever you listen to music. And yeah, I just honor Jason Mraz for the beautiful divine masculine energy that he emanates through his music, and how real he is in his lyrics. I don't know him, but I just can feel the vulnerability and the strength that he holds simultaneously, and I say thank you for that. The song says, 93 million miles from the sun, people get ready, because here it comes. It's a light, a beautiful light, over the horizon into our eyes. Oh my, how beautiful. Oh, my beautiful mother. She told me, son, in life you're gonna go far, and if you do it right, you'll love where you are. Just know that wherever you go, You can always come back home. 240,000 miles from the moon, we've come a long way to belong here, to share this view of the night, oh glorious night. Over the horizon is another bright sky. Oh my, how beautiful. Oh, my irrefutable father, he told me, son, sometimes it may seem dark, but the absence of the light is a necessary part. Just know, you're never alone. You can always come back home. Every road is a slippery slope. There is always a hand that you can hold on to. Looking deeper through the telescope, you can see that home's inside of you. One of my favorite lines, home's inside of you. Just know that wherever you go, know you're never alone. You can always get back home. 93 million miles from the sun. People get ready, because here it comes. It's a beautiful light over the horizon into our eyes. Sending you love, sending me love, sending all beings, all souls in human bodies love.